listening to the praise party. No party like a Holy Ghost party. Great interviews, gospel music, very talented. You're listening to.
Yes, Heaven 97 KHVN Fort Worth, Dallas. Daria Toba with you right here on the praise party. Where ain't no party like a Holy Ghost party, because the Holy Ghost party don't stop. That's right. We are your DFW only 24-hour gospel music station, Heaven 97 KHVN. We're so excited to be among the land of the living. Amen. Praise the Lord. I told you earlier we have a special guest in, not in the studio, but on the phone. And we're so, as the Baptist people would say, hippopotamus happy, right?
All right.
We are so happy to have Tosha Story to be with us. She is an actress, and a phenomenal actress that she is. And she was just in the movie of Acrimony. Now, listen, if you have not seen that movie, Acrimony, yet, you need to go see it. I want to go see it during daylight. And my mouth stayed open all night. I've been telling y'all to go see it. It's like Another Woman Scorned, but this time I don't even think it's the man's fault.
Uh-oh.
How are you doing, Tosha?
Hey there. Hi.
Tosha.
I am doing fantastic. Just glad to be a part of that fabulous movie, Acrimony, that's still in theaters now, and I'm just excited to be a part of that and excited to be able to speak with you all because, you know, I'm from Dallas.
Yes,
Dallas
you
is my hometown.
All right.
You are.
So anytime I get a chance to talk to my people, then I am elated. So thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Well, Tosha, let's just go ahead and tell us a little bit about the movie and what people should, gather when they, what will the audience be thinking about in their car as they're driving home after just seeing this film? Let's say that.
Well, I'll start out with the movie. The movie is really about, I think Tyler Perry said it best. It's really about letting go. Like, what do you do when you feel betrayed and you feel abandoned or deceived? What do you do? And this is a process of trying to let go of something that you've invested so much in. I think the beautiful part about it is that we as human beings, whether we're Christians or heathens or whomever, we have experienced, if you've loved, you've experienced some kind of heartbreak or betrayal, and you've invested in someone that it didn't come out the way you thought it would. And the beautiful part about this film is Tyler Perry explores it in a way that, they say there are always three sides. There's your side, and his side, and then the truth. Mm-hmm. And he allows the audience to be the truth and decide what is your truth. Because we don't always know everything that's going on behind closed doors. And sometimes, we get irrational. And I know, we've all been through it. I know I have. Because art imitates life, and that's why we tell stories. And so in our lives, sometimes we'll be in positions or in situations where it feels like, you've invested everything you have in someone, and to let go is not always easy. And so some of us, we think about going where Melinda goes, but, we bring it back a little bit because we don't want to go to jail or be a little rational about it. We got kids we want to raise. But it's true. It's real. And I think we want people to ask themselves the question, what do you do when that happens? And is it always one side? Because we are quick to go to the one side of, he betrayed her, he used her, what have you, and sometimes that is the truth. And then there's sometimes the truth is that you just have a hard time letting go. So you get to determine that in the movie. And what's so exciting about it is I've gotten so much feedback about the movie, and people are in the parking lots after watching the movie and debates about who was wrong and who was right. And that's exactly
I was mad at you.
It was.
I was mad at you in the movie. I was like, girl, be quiet.
No, she's just all up in the business, Miss Brenda. I had so much fun playing her, though, because that is a side. We all have that sister who's always, caught up in the business, running your business but can't run their own. We have that person, whether it's a sister or aunt or whomever, that is always pushing you to, but there's a good intent. I think on Brenda's part, when I played the part, the intent is, he was potential. And we don't want to give away the movie completely, but, and we don't do potential. We need you to already have your stuff together. And there's some truth in that, too. So everybody has a truth in it, and it's really about where you stand when you go see the movie. So it's just so interesting, the conversation that it's invoking and the debate that it's invoking. And so that's exciting because that's exactly what Tyler wanted it to do.
Miss Tosha,
Yes.
when you began your career, did you really focus on the big screen, or did you start in theater, for those that are listening that want to know?
Oh, well, if you got some time, no. I was raised I was raised in Dallas, and I went to the School of Performing Arts, Arts Magnet High School at Booker T. Washington.
All right.
And that school changed the trajectory of my life. I really figured out what my purpose was, and it was acting, telling stories so that we can elevate lives. So I went to Arts Magnet. I did plays and, studied there. And then I went on to go to SMU and studied acting.
Okay.
And, they only selected 10, when I went to SMU, 10 out of the nation, and I was one of them. And so I got a degree at acting there. And so then I stayed in Dallas, and I directed and did stage, and I thought that I was going to make my living there. And I realized after a while that there was something more. There was a ceiling that I had to have to reach. And so I decided to relocate. My son and I moved to L.A., didn't know anybody. I was a single parent, but I just knew there was something in me to say, you can do this on another level. And, I've been acting for over 20 years, but, for some people, it's like, oh, she's just getting the scene. But I've been on stage and doing, like, Wishbone in Dallas and, different things, yeah. And finally, when I moved here to Los Angeles to try to do it on this level, it was challenging because I was a single parent at that point, and I had, my son and trying to raise him. And, and so I stopped and started and stopped and started. And then finally, things just started happening, and I just stayed in line. And that's what I tell people. If you know that your passion, your purpose is to do what it is you're doing, then just stay in line and keep working on your craft, whether it's design or radio or acting. But keep working on your craft, because if God put it in you, then He's going to see you through.
Particular film, and what made you go about to audition for the role? How did that all come about?
Well, I was cast in Tyler Perry's If Loving You Is Wrong, the television series on OWN. I played the character of Tilda, the evil mother. You have to go watch it if you haven't watched it. So I worked with Tyler for 2 seasons. And so this was the first time in my acting life, and again, I've been acting for a long time, that a director actually calls me on the phone to offer me a role.
Wow.
And I'd like to think it was based on my, the talent that he saw in me portraying Tilda on If Loving You Is Wrong. And so that's how Acrimony came about for me. Because one thing about Tyler, that, if he likes you and he likes your work, then he will hire you again, and I'm a living witness. And so I'm so grateful to him for that. And so that's how I got into it. And then ultimately, and I think she had asked earlier, like, what was the hardest part about this? One of the things about Tyler, he works very differently than most studios in Hollywood. He does things very quickly. This movie was made in 8 days.
Whoa.
Okay? Which is unheard of.
Oh my gosh.
So you have to be on your stuff, because he doesn't, you don't lack quality because the time is quick. It's, he hires people that he thinks can show up. And so we would have 15-hour days and 16-hour days. And so I think that's the hardest part, because you got to still stay alert and on your stuff in spite of your fatigue.
Wow.
And I think, but because I knew how he worked, I was prepared. But I would think that would probably be the most challenging part of it. But the rest of it is acting. I love acting. I mean, I breathe it. And so I love playing different roles. If you saw me on If Loving You Is Wrong, I'm very different than, Miss Brenda in Acrimony, and then I'm on Empire, and I play, a totally different role. So that's what gives me, energy. It gives me life. And so that's the fun part of it. So it's just staying up and ready was the hardest part.
Okay, now before we went off air, I asked you a question. What's challenging about bringing this script to life? What was challenging about that?
Well, that's the only thing that was challenging was that, just we had to do it in 8 days.
8 days.
Yeah.
Learning those lines. But of course you got your book before then, right? You got your script before then. You just had to go in there knowing you're not.
I probably got my script maybe 2 or 3 days before, but you get used to that. Well, yeah.
Wow.
You didn't even get a month to.
Oh, no. See, that's what we do with plays. In plays, you get a month to try to learn all the lines at one time
Right.
because you're on stage, and so once it goes, it just goes. But when you do TV and film, you'll get your script 2 or 3 days before. If you're lucky, maybe a week. But, you get to start and stop or what have you. But this particular script was so relatable. For me, like I knew everybody in this film, so I could have played any character and probably could have tapped in quickly because I know them, And so for Brenda, it was so much fun because I could act out what sometimes I think and can't say, in real life, in real situations. And so no, but once you get started and you get into the role and you get into that character and you know what it is that their intentions are, then it becomes like butter as far as I'm concerned. So the hardest part was just doing everything quickly.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I have one question for you. As a black actor in Hollywood, do you feel there are challenges that you are facing that other actors don't?
Oh, my gosh. Well, absolutely. I mean, as a black actress, but I think that we find that in most occupations, being an African American and being a female, a lot of times we're at the bottom of the ladder. Specifically, though, in my genre, our pay is a lot different. I know you've heard a lot of talk about, if Viola Davis gets paid what Meryl Streep gets paid,
Right.
And it's a vast difference. Your pay is kind of confidential, so you don't get to compare it specifically. But things are reported, and wait a minute, hold up, I didn't make that much when I did that film, And I'm just so happy that the climate is changing, and there's a lot of attention being brought to the discrepancies in terms of pay, so that because we're just as valuable. And I think Black Panther was a beautiful example of putting us on the map as our dollars count.
Yeah.
And you have to listen to us as African Americans because we put people in the seats. And that was such a beautiful, and it's still going on because I think Black Panther is still happening. But it just resonates to the industry. And so now they hear us and they know that we make a difference. And so because of that and because people are speaking out more and not so scared that, oh, my God, if I say something, then they may not hire me, or if I say something, they may blacklist me. Now everything is on the table.
They really
I'm
do
just
that?
grateful to be a part of it at this time so that we can get our just due because it's time.
Wow.
I didn't know they still black.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You get. Oh, yes. Definitely. Because you don't want to be marked. Because as African Americans, we sometimes carry that stigma of, oh, they're troublemakers, or if you say something, it's because you're being, bitter, and it's really not that. It's about I want my worth because I am just as valuable as the next person. It's not to minimize anybody else, but it's to bring us up to say we're just as important and valuable. And I think the industry, specifically my industry, they're seeing that now, and so I'm grateful for that.
Amen. Well, we're not going to hold you long, but just a few more questions we want to ask you, Tosha. Besides yourself, which actor in this film is going to blow people away?
Ooh, well, I have to say, Taraji P. Henson. Taraji is a phenomenal actress, and I have the privilege of actually knowing her and respecting her work, and she mine. And you'll see her in a different light. We see her as Cookie, and we've seen her as, a lot of different roles. But this role, I think she really, really nails it, and she's superb in it. And, as you watch the movie, sometimes you'll sit there, and I'm in the movie, and I sat there, and I got lost, and I forgot that I was even at the movie. I thought I was in real life somewhere, but that's how she takes you. And I'm just really proud of her work, and I think you will be too. She's phenomenal in it.
Awesome. Well, besides this one, which one is your favorite movie or productions that you have filmed in?
My favorite so far. Ooh, you're trying to get me in trouble.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because I'm grateful, and I've enjoyed so much. I mean, starting out with Tyler Perry, because I think he just, with If Loving You Is Wrong, because I think he's the one who's just changed the trajectory of my career since I've been in L.A. And so with that, coupled with having fun with this role of Miss Tilda, who's shooting people, and it was like this gangster mom. It was so much fun, and I felt so at home and so valued. You know what I mean, on his lot. So that was a beautiful experience in terms of artistically as well as just the human quality of it, because he's just that amazing. But then, I'd be remiss if I didn't say Empire, because just being a part of Empire, which is on Fox, and I'm on it this season as well, it's been just a wonderful journey just to tap into. The beautiful thing about acting is, because if you know me, I am none of these characters in terms of Tosha.
No, you're so sweet and so kind, because I just didn't like you. I was like, gosh.
And so if you know me, you know that I'm really acting if you see me, on film or television. And so just to get to play this inmate, from Philly, who's like hard. I mean, that's so far from who I am. It's ridiculous, and yet, to tap into that is so much fun. So I'm really, really enjoying it and continuing to work with Taraji. I have to give her credit. She was instrumental in getting me an audition for this role. And when I booked it, I was like, okay. And just playing this hard girl that's, no makeup, no fancy, it's been a lot of fun. And so I'm a character actress, and I love telling stories. And if I can make it believable, then I'm doing my job, and I feel like that's what's exciting for me.
Awesome. Well, we're so excited for you and excited what God has planned for your life. This is just the beginning, and greatness and more is to come. And I'm just so privileged that I had a chance to interview you and have you on the show today. And so when you make it back in Dallas, we'd just love for you to stop by the station to show us some of your love as well. So we're excited.
Absolutely. But, I got to say this because, I'm from Dallas, and if I don't shout out a couple of people, I'm going to be in trouble.
Okay.
So I just want to say, just to say shout out to my family, my mom, Ed Divine, my sister, Gazelle, my brother, Quentin. And I have lots of family and friends in Dallas who are big fans of mine and supportive of me. And if I didn't have my foundation, I don't know where I'd be. So I just want to say I love you, Dallas, everybody who supported me along the way, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Oh, bless you. God bless you. We love you, too.
Yes.
Many blessings. Love you. All right, love you, too. God bless you.
Take care.
All right. Listen, guys, I hope you enjoyed that great interview. More great gospel on the way. Let the healing begin. We're so excited, and I hope you enjoyed that by Tosha Story right here. Go see that movie if you haven't seen it. It's really, really good. What you think, Sunshine?
I'm going to have to go see it.
Yeah, go see it tonight.
Some of us have been carrying many burdens, many scars, hurts from the past.